What is going on, YouTubers? History Hunter here. I wanted to make a short little video briefly discussing the history of this area and general Bell County throughout the years. Just a little, like a summary of some excerpts that I have seen. I'm going to show you real quick all of what I have found, so not all per se. Some of it's still in a box, some of it's in the house, but just the more how should I put, non-trashy items. Let's go check it out real quick, and then we'll discuss the history. Alright, let's move this. Hold on, I think. No, I'm not zoomed in. Let's move this. What is that, a peanut? A peanut jar? Well, yes it is. And it's going to become a geocache. Geocaching is a very good way to find new places. Let's do a little rundown. We have a howitzer round, a grave marker that was in the water. Well, there was another piece of metal up here. Oh, I moved it right here. I'm not too certain what this is. I think it might have been a file. Some shades. Some old, I believe, gun parts. A little Derringer toy from the 70s. This hinge I found, wedged underneath a big tree. A lot of marbles. That's not all of them. Made a couple of videos of where I found those, and if you go and check out Nut Noggin's channel, he is a marble nut. Little piece of something there. I believe this is off of a pair of coveralls. Some Wheaties. 1948. 1943 still penny. Wheat penny. I actually found this in a geocache. Couple of cars. There's a few more inside. Cell phone. There's a couple in some boxes over here that I couldn't find. Some old cans. I actually found this can buried. And it is, I mean, there's not a single dent or scratch one on this can. Old soup can. Some napped rocks. A lot of clad. This guy, not too certain, but I think that this is the back of somebody's head. It's the more relevant find so far. Let's get back with the history. Alright guys, let's talk about, hold on, let's zoom out. Let's talk about zooming out. Much better. Let's talk about cooling. Yes, I am reading. I wrote all this down last night. Killeen was in 1881. Gulf, Colorado, and Santa Fe bought 360 acres, 2.5 miles southwest of Palo Alto, which was founded in 1872. Palo Alto no longer exists, which is now Killeen. The first train that ran through was May of 1882. The population was 40 people. There was a train station, a school, a couple of stores, and a saloon. 2 years goes by, and the population increased to 350 people. There was 2 grist mills, 2 cotton gins, 2 saloons, a lumber yard, which is still there, a blacksmith shop, and a hotel. In 1896, the population doubled, and so did the town, all the buildings and everything else. By 1900, Killeen was all white, and the first bank opened the following year. Electric came through in 1904. At the same time, the Cowhouse Bridge and a few others were built. In 1939, the streets were paved, water and sewage lines were put in. 190, which was I-14, was built by federal funding alongside the bridges throughout the Great Depression. Let's see here. Fort Hood came about around 1942, and people came by the thousands. It cost 300 different farms and businesses to close. Fort Hood actually took over a lot of land. There are countless towns. There's an app you can download called Old Maps Online, and there are countless places that Fort Hood has taken over. In 1949, the population increased from 1,300 to 7,045 and fell in 1950 after the war. In 1955, 21,076 people came back to Killeen. Well, not came back, but the population was up to those numbers. Down to those numbers, I'm sorry. 224 stores. The parks were built, and the war was fluxing, causing an instability amongst the town. St. Joseph's Parish, which is still standing, was built in 1954 and appointed its first parishioner. Schools integrated 1956. And that's about pretty much all that I could gather. Not per se, but just random facts. A couple of things that had happened here. Let's jump ahead to 1991. 23 people were killed at the Luby's Cafe, which is now Yank Scene Cafe. There was a patron there that had a gun in their car. I'm not going to mention a specific gender or name or anything, just for privacy reasons. But I will say that there was a gun in their vehicle. They could not get to their gun, which, had they had it on them and it was legal, then 22 people's lives could have been spared, or all 23. It was the Nationals' deadliest shooting until 2007, Virginia Tech. Think about that. This person, however, fought and fought. And that's why the legal open carry and all that came about. In Fort Hood, just a couple of years ago, there was 13 people killed and 42 wounded by a gunman. It's just every day there's a fatality here. Every day. It's ridiculous. Let's go back to the past history. Just figured I'd throw that out there. At least 6,000 BC, evidence has been found of Archaic period, 7,000 BC to AD 500, Paleo-Indian, and pre-7000 BC has been recovered from numerous waterways, bodies, pottery, you name it. I mean, entire burial plots. So, the Apaches, Wacos, Anadarkos, Kiowas, and Comanches were all here. And by 1840, the Tonkawas appeared. Comanche raids started to strike in 1870. Spanish settlers settled amongst the San Gabriel in Georgetown in 1837. An Elm Creek raid happened January 7th. Post Oak Massacre, May 26th. Wait, hold on. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let's go back. Post Oak Massacre happened in June. May 26, 1839, Birds Creek, Texas Rangers and Comanches fought in what is now Temple. In 1850, the people came back, and a population was 600 whites and 60 slaves. Bell County conformed January 22nd, 1850. December 16th, 1851, Belton came about. The last Indian raid happened March of 1859. The reconstruction of Bell County in 1865 to 1866 was a very violent time of murders and lynchings. Cattle and horse thievery came about as well. In 1868, the KKK emerged. May 25th, 1874, a mob of people broke into what is now the Bell County Jail, killing 8 of the 9 people were either horse thieves or murderers. In 1911 to 1915, there was lynchings about the cities. And in 1920, the KKK reemerged and everything settled. Now, I haven't seen any KKK around here. And that's the first that I've ever heard of any such said here. It did not specify KKK per se. But, think about it. How many other groups can you actually compare to the KKK? And how many other groups were there in that time frame? Something to think about. Not going to say whether I agree or I disagree. Just stating that it was here. And there's no evidence. So, I don't know, it's just something to think about and theoretically try to find. Because there has to be proof of existence somewhere. I'll try to get some more history, spread it throughout the videos. I know this is kind of boring. I'm seeing the timer here, 11 minutes and 6 seconds of nonsense riddling. So, I will go ahead and let y'all go. I'm not going to go digging today. My car, I was going to make this video earlier. I took my stepdaughter, I guess you could say my daughter, to a job interview. And well, the heater core hose legitimately blew apart on my car. So I sat in the parking lot for a couple of hours fixing it. Now, I'm sitting here rambling on, talking to you guys. So, History Hunter out. Go outside. Have fun. Dig. All this being said, think about it. What could be in your backyard? Till next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like. Please subscribe.